Whitney Young Dolphins JV football is on the air. We're joining you here from Jackson Park? Columbus Park, where we are high atop 3.5 feet of dirt, giving us an opportunity to give you today's game between the Dolphins and the Clark Eagles. I'm joined today on camera by the esteemed Barry Gordon. We can't quite get Barry to don a headset, but hey, it's a long game. We got the Whitney Young Dolphins warming up here to our right-hand side. Clark to our left, overlooking the quickly moving Eisenhower Expressway. We were just remarking about the trials and travails of a road game, and Barry made the comment that this is our West Coast swing to close out the year for the Whitney Young Dolphins. So you look at it on a map and it's about 5 miles west of where Whitney Young is, maybe even less, but a whole lot of traffic in between, a whole lot of logistics in between. We've got our executive producer Tony McHale just had us all set up. He is heading out today. We're going to join you for the last game of the JV schedule. So right now, if you want to recap a bit, Whitney Young has had a solid season. I mean, maybe the win-loss column doesn't show it that way. Started out with a loss to the Hope Eagles. I think that final was like 38-6. Brandon Dockett with a big kickoff return in that. And that was really the boys kind of getting their, call them boys, the young men getting their feet underneath them. A lot of them, that was their first tackle football game ever. And let's just say Hope is a big team, big physical team. Walking off the bus, I think a lot of our guys' eyes got super big. What's that? Oh, I think we maybe had a cable that dropped out, but let's see. Hang on a second. I'm going to keep talking. We might have lost video just for a second. You got that back in there, Barry? Here, let me take a look at it.
This is where it goes. Yeah, I'm not even sure that I'm not even sure that was hooked in.
Where else could it go? Maybe we can get Tony real quickly. Hang on a second, folks. We are having some quick technical difficulties. We're going to get the executive producer back on the line. See that I got? Almost looks like maybe it. Sure would make sense that it. Hey, yeah, I think we had the other cord that goes into the camera, like the power cord, came out and we can't figure out where it goes back in. Okay, thanks. Oh no, that's all right. These things happen.
There's no video, right?
All right, so I'm going to keep talking here. We just have some video issues for a second, but I think we're going to be back up and running here shortly. Anyway, just giving you kind of a preview of today's game, which is the final JV game of the year. Team's still warming up, so you're not missing any action on the field. If you Otherwise, I'll just have to go into radio mode here. But anyway, we got a little bit of time to check things out. We've got a quick emergency call in to Tony McHale to come back out and show us where our power cable fits in. You got that? Barry Gordon appears to have, let's see if we solve the issue. We may have to, I wonder if we just have to hit the on off again. That's happened to us once before. Okay, let's do a quick check over here. Looks like we are back on the air. If you've stayed with us the entire time, kudos to you. Yeah, it looks like we're back. All right, very good. We're gonna tell Tony here. All right, we got it back. Yep. Can you double check just to make sure? So I think we're back on the air. So I think, yeah, the cable just came out of the other side and we couldn't figure out where it went back in.
That won't happen again.
All right, but I think we're good. We're just gonna double check here. I looked at production truck, looked like volume was still coming through. Looks like we've got 10 viewers out there. All right. All right, so we're good. So before we get started with the game action, I want to thank Barry Gordon's mother profusely for the chocolate chip cookies she made last week. Just incredible, incredible cookies, showing her support for the Whitney Young JV Dolphins and the live streaming that we're doing. So now I think we got Barry Gordon getting on the mic.
I couldn't resist.
All right, see, I knew we could get him. Welcome, Barry.
Oh man, doing double duty here with the camera.
All right, so we got cookies last week.
I got some too, by the way.
Yeah, they were darn good. And Brian Miller, he scooped up some of those. So Brian, hope you're tuning in today. Brian Miller, who is the man on the chains for the varsity gang.
Oh, he deserves some for sure.
Absolutely, and he provided the color commentary on the last two games. Now I will apologize for the Westinghouse game. We had some technical difficulties that we have since solved. We couldn't solve on the spot. It was kind of frustrating. But we'll get back to those because it looks like we've got the Whitney Young Dolphins going to receive this opening kickoff. We got Brandon Dockett deep, number 81, as well as, that looks like Will DeMille. Will the Thrill DeMille is deep.
What a fun player to watch.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, do we go down again?
Charge the battery pack.
Well, I'm gonna keep talking here because I think we can have it on the air. It says charge the battery pack, but talk in progress. Do not disconnect. I'm not sure what's going on here. Having some video issues right now. Kick is away by Clark, fielded short. Fielded short and brought back to about the 35-yard line by, I think that was Braden Samko back.
We should be back on.
All right,
Sorry,
we're
folks.
back on. We're gonna do our best here. That's all we can ask for.
Man.
All right, so real quickly, we're gonna have the Whitney Young Dolphins starting out with Will Schetz at quarterback. Schetz replacing the injured Bennett Newman. We'll talk a little bit more about that throughout the broadcast. Bennett sidelined in that Westinghouse game.
How's he doing?
He's doing fine. He's doing fine. It's nothing long term, but just ended his season. So Schetz at quarterback. We've got Duenas at fullback today, and I believe that's Louis Ortiz. And Schetz rolling out to his right, picks up a couple on the quarterback keeper. So we're going to have
Good
few other injuries to report today. Damian Mendez is out, along with Newman. So those guys are acting as the top offensive assistants to Coach Eddie Boucher today. Schetz comes over to the sideline for the play.
Yeah, it's the most young players I've seen on the sideline. But it's to be expected this late in the season.
Yep, it's a little bit of a battle of attrition. So also Ari Rohde's been out the last couple weeks. Hopefully he gets healthy enough. He's a swimmer. Hopefully you see him in the pool for varsity season. So it looks like we've got second and call at 7. I'm having a hard time picking up the sticks. Schetz going back for a pass. He's going to run again. Got out of bounds right about at the sticks. So Schetz was looking at his reads downfield. Didn't see anybody open, so lived another day, which, again, we're going to talk about Will and his maturation process as a quarterback. He stepped in there at the end of the Westinghouse game, finished off a drive with the quarterback sneak for a touchdown, and also, at the end of the game had a drive going as well. I mean, that game, in my mind, I still think about that as a win, just because I felt like we outplayed them.
Yeah, we definitely did. That was an aggravating one, but I think a lot of the guys looked at it like it was a win.
All right, so across the front line, we got Ben Barrett at center, Pat Billings, Chase Green, along with Jason Perez and Zaire Nichols on the front. So solid starting line. Got Dockett in motion to the left. Schetz has got trips over there. He's looking at DeMille, just a little bit high on the pass. Schetz ran a nice, DeMille ran a nice dig route and really had looked like he was probably in man coverage over there. Got his guy on the hook on that, but the pass is just a little bit high.
I just have to say, this is way harder than it looks.
Well, if for anybody that watches varsity games when I do the camera, and I have to, apologize to the McHale family because I constantly miss incredible plays by Pat McHale. I mean, that's because he's doing them just about every other possession. But I think I've missed like 2 interceptions and 2 touchdowns this year. All right, Solomon Bradley back in punt formation. Solomon does a little bit of everything for this team. Fran Lope on the Fran, bring him on down. Great coverage by Fran Lope.
There we go. Didn't give up much there at all.
Yeah. So Fran, our favorite exchange student from Spain.
Where in Spain? Do we know? I was asking about that.
Barry only asks questions that I know the answer to.
Oh, that's a good point. We'll say Madrid.
Yeah, Madrid, sure. He lives within a several-hour radius of Madrid.
We will fact-check that later.
But no, it's been great having him on the team, and I know that everybody loves having him around. If I haven't told this story on air, during the homecoming game, there's a Whitney Young tradition where the senior women run to midfield at halftime, and let's just say they're out there in basically their sport bras and not a whole lot else. And Fran, apparently, as they were heading into the locker room, turned around and said, "This is why I love the United States."
It feels just like home, I thought he would say.
All right, I'm going to try to give you some Clark names and numbers here because I actually have their lineup. Anthony Pickett at quarterback, a bunch set with a receiver to his left. Handoff up the middle, gets a good head of steam, but we get a tackle by both Fran Lope as well as Quinn Beck. Although I'm not sure that's Quinn Beck. I think there was some number switching today. I know that Quinn Beck is out, so I'm going to call that. I'm going to make a guesstimate here that is Reed.
I know Reed did have his number changed.
Yes. So that's Reed Favaro on the tackle. So we had Reed Favaro, and if Fran Lope in the starting lineup, which he deserves, over there at a weak side safety position. So we're going to have a tough time here. I think it looks like the sticks only have one stick.
I thought that was just
a
nice.
Pat Billings. Yeah.
Nice.
That doesn't take me much to figure out who Pat Billings is. He's
Monster.
He's the Whitney Young defensive tackle in the offensive backfield.
Yeah, I thought that was just me, only seeing the one stick.
Yeah,
afraid to say
I think
something.
there's another one there at about the 50, like call it the 49. I think that's I think there's just a stick without any orange on it. So if we say that, I think let's call it 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4, and I gotta guess that this is 4-down territory for the Eagles. We saw a heavy dose of run from these guys the first game. Kind of like to line it up and see if they can run it down your throats. We got Billings and Chaz Green at the D tackle spots. Let's see if they can get in there. There was a flag down on the play. Nice tackle there by Jason Perez. Mad cute tackle, some might call it.
Okay. That's going our way.
I think it was, they didn't blow the play dead, so I don't know if that was an illegal formation or what was going on there. Maybe some motion. Barry, this is where you're supposed to pick me up when I'm just flailing and I have no idea what just happened on the field.
You promised I wouldn't have to do that.
Oh, right, okay. All right.
I'm just here for some asides. You're expecting a lot out of me.
All right. So that pushes them back 5 yards. So now we're going to say 3rd and 12 from the Eagles' 48-yard line. So we'll try to get a few more. We got Barry Gordon. So Barry Gordon is Barry Gordon the third?
Essentially, yeah. We all have different middle names.
Okay. So number 34 at right end is Barry Gordon. You got Chase Green in the middle, along with Pat Billings. I think Reed Favaro here on the left side end. See if those guys get a good push here.
They look ready.
And that's a quarterback keeper. Yeah. Jason Perez.
Nice.
Mad cute again on that tackle. Did a really nice job of backside pursuit for Perez on that. That's going to bring up 4th down. Again, we're assuming that they will go for it here.
Is it about 4th and 2?
4th and, yeah, I'm going to say 5. I think they're just about on the 45, and that the other orange stick is about on the 40.
Oh, yeah.
Others in the starting lineup today defensively, you got Solomon Bradley deep as the free safety. Tristan Merrill lined up, number 84 over here as another safety. I'm going to go Will DeMille on this corner. Will's played some really nice defense, setting the edge on the corner with any sort of pursuit from that side. All right, so big play here early on. Whitney Young Dolphin defense trying to get a stop on 4th down. Eagles with a pitch. Merrill stringing out. There's DeMille. Nice cutback. Finally brought down by Barry Gordon, but they pick up the 1st down. So that was a nice piece of running.
Yeah, it really was.
Nice piece of running by Glenn Harris, freshman halfback from Clark, 5'7", 140. So they pick up a 1st down. Hard-earned 1st down. Duenas. Oh, yeah, actually, Duenas, and this is one thing Coach Eddie told me before the game, Duenas at linebacker and Jason Perez actually playing in that linebacker position. So usually you got Jason on the line, but I actually am really excited to see this. I think Jason's got a potential with his size and speed at that varsity level. He's a sophomore right now.
And he seems to be a student of the game, too.
Yeah, and that's that coaches have mentioned that to me. Every day they see him growing as a player, growing as a leader.
He's definitely a leader.
So you can see him in a Sam Wyatt type of role in the future. So 1st down pitch, that ball is on the carpet. A little miscommunication there in the offensive backfield. Merrill touches him down. Yeah, would like to see that ball on the ground. So for the year, I was trying to do this earlier when we were dropping. So Clark on the year lost their first game to us 6-0. Then they dropped a game to Lincoln Park, 16-6. A victory over Westinghouse, 16-12. And I think they had a game that they had a forfeit against Westinghouse as well. So, definitely a team that has some size, and we'll see more, Barry, in the on the defensive side.
Not a lot of reserves. I can see why they had to forfeit a game. It looks like they're pretty thin at.
Kudos to them, because putting the numbers out there and making sure that it is truly a JV game with freshmen and sophomores and not guys that are playing on the varsity team. That's underlying. I'll tell you what's between the lines on that later in this program as well.
I think we know.
All right, so Clark, some North Side team who's all right. Clark's going to take a timeout. Yeah, some North Side team, maybe a school named after a president. Yeah, and this is all just us talking, just guys talking here. And I will say,
educated guesses.
Yeah. So Lincoln Park, definitely a very physical junior varsity football team.
Mature.
And they took it to us. They took it to us on the lakefront where we lost 30-0, and then they took it to us last week at Michelle Obama 20-0.
We played a lot better that second game.
Well, absolutely.
We knew what to expect, I think, that second game.
Yeah, in the first game, the first 3 possessions were turnovers that turned into points, and so the rest of that game we actually played neck and neck. And then, same thing, a long pick 6 that we threw, put us down 14-0, and they got another score late. But I will say our boys, our young men, really brought the juice in that second half, and there was a hit by Pat Billings on an interception return while the entire varsity team was watching that. I quite honestly, and I might be exaggerating a bit, but I'm not actually.
Well, you
it
had
carried
a front row
over
seat to it, right?
Carried over to that varsity
I was about
game.
30 yards from it and heard it.
Yeah. The energy carried over to the varsity game.
Yeah.
So Eagles back to pass. Lope coming up, makes the pressure, stepped out of bounds. Mason McCoo cleaning up business on the backside. So that was nice pursuit. One of the things that Coach Eddie talks a lot, he gives Mason a good pat on the helmet on that one. That was a nice job by Mason coming up and filling. It's about maintaining gap discipline. Everybody's got an assignment on these things, and sometimes if you're trying to play too much of a hero, you get out of your lane, you get out of your gap, and that's where a big run, a big play can get busted off because you're not where you're supposed to be. And on that play, we had 3 guys exactly where they were supposed to be. They strung it out, and then they came and pursued and made the tackle at the end.
That's what I was saying. I wish there was a few more games because they're really starting to gel, and it just has me really excited for next year.
Barry, you just want to get on the headset for more of these games.
This is addictive.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be here all night.
Look at this traffic on the Eisenhower.
Well, yeah, you took my next joke. Okay.
That's how I roll, Barry.
That's all right.
You're gonna lob those out there for me. I'm gonna be hanging on the rim on those softballs. So
just trying to make you look good.
Yeah. Well, that takes quite a bit. And the other thing you have to do, Barry, is I'll just start talking nonsense during the game and kind of forget what's going on.
I got really in.
I'm not sure what's going on right now. There's a timeout on the field for something. I don't know if it was end of quarter.
Oh, man. Where's that pesky scoreboard when you need it? It's right behind us.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it's. Well, I'm tethered in. Otherwise, I'd actually go over and see.
Oh yeah. Oh, thanks for the
on.
reminder.
Yeah, that's right. Barry starts walking over to the scoreboard and takes the camera with us. I think we've exhausted our phone a friend to Tony McHale today.
Exactly. Call dismissed.
All out of there. So we got the Dolphins heading back on the field. Let's see which side of the ball they jump on. I think they are going to jump on that. So we are going to call that the end of the quarter.
All right.
So we get to flip it over on this side again. We got DeMille at corner. Tristan Merrill Barry Gordon on the edges here.
So they had the ball all first quarter?
We had one possession. I mean, the clock moved really fast. There's a snap that bounces on the ground, and
nice.
mad cute tackle again. So I'll tell everybody, Jason Perez told me that he would, I can't remember what it was, he'd give me $1 or something like that every time I said mad cute, because if you ever look at the live stream after it goes up, I think these players tend to take a look at it, and there's always this mystery comment about how number 69 looks mad cute.
Oh, man.
I do believe that's coming from Jason Perez's burner account. But hey, I mean, you gotta be confident. Got to be confident in yourself.
Goes a long way.
So this is where I completely have forgotten down and distance. It's about 10 yards to go. Call it third down. I don't know. High snap, looking to pass. DeMille back there, picked off by Solomon Bradley.
Great pick, Solomon. Beautiful pick.
That's that center field position. So he did exactly what he's supposed to do. So we'll talk a little bit about the way coverages work on that. A lot of times the Dolphins play what's called a cover 3, meaning a guy like Solomon Bradley, he has the middle of the field. It's just a zone. Anybody that's crossing into that zone, that's his, and he's not letting anybody get deep behind him. So DeMille did a good job of trailing that receiver as he was in his zone on the right side, and when he crossed over, there was like a post pattern in the middle of the field, and Solomon Bradley, all his job is back there is to read the quarterback's eyes. I mean, he's got to have good peripheral vision to be able to see where all the receivers are, but then just read eyes. All right, so Dolphins get the ball back here, 0-0, second quarter.
What a great feeling that must be.
Yeah, Schetz in the pistol, Merrill in motion. Schetz on a run to the left. He's still picking his way. There's a flag that's down. Schetz gonna get about 5 yards. I think we're probably going to get a holding call on here. Sometimes you'll end up seeing that, and we actually saw it a lot in the illegal motion, so I wasn't right.
All the holding calls in that last game were just
yeah, and I think it was pretty frustrating. So we're talking about the game on Friday against Lincoln Park Varsity. A lot of penalties, a lot of holding penalties downfield, and Tony and I talked about it on that broadcast. You know, it's challenging because as a receiver or a tight end, you're blocking downfield, and as the runner comes beyond you and that defensive guy tries to disengage, sometimes you hang on a little too long. Yeah. So first down, 15. Schetz in the pistol. Back to pass, got a plenty of time. Now rolling out, lofts one up. Brandon Dockett.
Beautiful.
All right.
Man, we're looking good. We're coming alive.
Great job by Will Schetz, hanging in the pocket. Had a little pressure, but took a couple steps to his right and found Brandon Dockett coming free on the right-hand side. Brandon made a nice job, a nice catch, got a few yards after it.
I like the mix of plays a lot. That's what I think they could do more. Just mix it up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is it is the varsity offense, maybe not with the full contingent of tricks in it, but definitely a lot of passing, a lot more than you're going to necessarily see out of any other JV team. Dockett in motion, Schetz in the pistol. Low snap, but he picks it up.
Yeah, he recovered nicely.
He's waving a guy deep. That's picked off.
Man.
Picked off by number 6, Glenn Harris. Again, the right idea probably needed to have less air under it.
Yeah.
And drill it in there, because he bought time. You know, that's one of the things that Will really does well, is he buys time, and he kept his eyes downfield. So
he's a big quarterback.
End result wasn't necessarily where he would have wanted it, but you know, again, the two of the three things that needed to be done on that play were, you know, he stayed alive, stayed with his eyes downfield, which is the coaches want him to do. You know, they know that he can run, but they want him to be able to take that pass play that's downfield when it's there.
Yeah, you got to keep him guessing.
So still 0-0 here in the second quarter. Clark back with the ball. We've seen I think one pass from them that was intercepted by Solomon Bradley. Otherwise, they've been kind of feeding a steady share of runs up the middle.
Let's hope for another pass.
I think they had some illegal motion. Number 10 took off a little bit early. It wouldn't be fair for me to say his name just because he left early. That was old college football. Remember that, Barry? They never used to announce the number of the person who had the penalty.
Oh yeah, college football. It's a little bit more tame, and the pros will call you out. All day.
Yeah. Now they do. I mean, I don't know what the revolution was that they're finally like, yeah, let's just say the guy's name.
Like if we're gonna start paying these guys.
Well, there it is. There it is. Yeah, take some responsibility.
Right.
Hey, if you want your participation trophy, we're gonna say who. There's gonna come up another interception for Solomon Bradley.
Are you kidding me?
If they call a penalty on that, that will be something we're not happy about. Which I think they are gonna call a penalty.
What possibly could the penalty be?
There may have been some, I don't know, if there was
face
contact. There is contact down there, and they're going to call. We'll see from this official. He's calling a first down this way.
What?
We'll wait for. I'm not sure we're going to get something. We're going to think we're calling a pass interference on that. We're going to dispute that. We'll go back and look at it on film. That wasn't pass interference, but
no, it definitely was not.
It's we're on the road here at Clark, not to imply anything, but that was a hometown call. So 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line, at the Dolphins' 40-yard line.
Solomon's going to go for his 3rd pick.
We've got number 7, Anthony Pickett, sporting some pink socks at the quarterback position. He's got number 6, Glenn Harris, and number 27, who I don't have on the list, who has the ball right now. He's brought down. First hit by Jason Perez, but then Fran Lope, and you can tell the sideline likes that one. Happy about Fran's cleaning up. Yeah, Fran has like 3 or 4 tackles already. And then, yeah, I mean, I started talking about it before. Great to see Jason Perez kind of roaming at that linebacker position. You know, I think he definitely, as more of our guys have gotten
vocal.
Yep. And more of our guys have gotten healthy throughout the year. Zaire Nichols coming in really helped out both offensive line and defensive line, and also just playing throughout the year. I think gets Jason in a spot that again he might have an opportunity for in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he seems like a natural linebacker.
Yeah, now number 20 is in the correct spot. He was, all right, a pitch. Nice job right in the middle of that line. Pat Billings, Chase Green. Billings and Green stack him up right from the get-go. So that brings up 3rd down. 3rd down and a few. Think about 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. So we're guesstimate that we're halfway through the 2nd quarter here, Barry?
That is a good guess. I know the game flies when you're behind the camera.
So 3rd down. We've seen the Eagles go to the air a few times. We got 3rd and probably 3. Might keep this on the ground.
I bet they are. It's a good bet. Hope I'm wrong, though.
Anthony Pickett under center. And off up the middle. They got some real estate there and a 1st down. Ripped off a run for a 1st down into the Dolphins secondary.
Into Loretto Hospital territory there in the background.
Nicely done, Barry, giving us
just a geography lesson.
Yeah. All right, so Dolphins coming over to the side. I'm guessing the timeout somewhere here, maybe by Clark. If we're saying this is close to the end of the first half, might be expending their first timeout. Again, 0-0 in our last JV game of the year. So hope you've enjoyed this season. Talked a little earlier about we got Will Schetz warming up in front of us right now. Schetz took over at quarterback in the Westinghouse game. Bennett Newman, who happens to be my son, and I said this eloquently last week, I think, but the sound didn't work, and I just said I needed to step out of character for a second and no longer be the live stream guy and actually be the dad of a Whitney Young Dolphin, and just say I was my entire family incredibly thankful for the Dolphin community reaching out, checking in on Bennett, checking in on his health. After the big hit he took against Westinghouse. He had an abdominal injury, but he'll be back. He'll have the full off-season program to get ready for next year's varsity season.
So tough
yeah.
Son of a gun.
Yeah, he's taking some hits this year. But again, thank you to everybody for reaching out. Thank you to the DeMille family for sending over some amazing cookies, by the way. Not that that's expected. All right, first down for the Eagles. Number 7, back to pass, but he drops the ball, and
recovered.
Whitney Young picking it up off the carpet. Hey, who was that with the fumble recovery? Did you see?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was Barry Gordon.
Oh, come on.
All right, so I'll tell you, everybody here.
I need that game ball.
So Barry Gordon, the father, senior, third, fourth, whatever. Barry Gordon is on the camera for us today, but being on the camera, you have a monitor that you have to look through that's pretty small.
I have no idea what's going on here.
Kind of tough to see what's going on. You have to sort of look back and forth. So, his son just made the fumble recovery.
And I was none the wiser.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can go back and look at it.
I will.
It was good.
On mute.
He was there. He was Johnny on the spot, Barry on the spot. All right, Schetz in the pistol. Ortiz behind him. Schetz rolling. He's got. Oh, right. Awesome catch by Tristan Merrill. Man, just got over the outstretched hands of Glenn Harris as a DB there. Really nice job again. Schetz on the rollout. Had Brandon Dockett, I think might be their flood right play. Had Brandon Dockett short, but then, given we're close to the end of the half here, he dialed it up deep to Tristan Merrill for a nice completion. And the
big play.
Dolphins take a timeout. Dolphin JV do not have Fernando Lozano to be able to boot a 40-yard field goal here.
He's turned into Mr. Automatic.
Well, yes. Yeah, I mean, he had a great game. So we're talking about Nando, the weapon, Lozano, who is the varsity kicker, senior kicker.
Oh, he's a senior. That's a shame. I thought he was hoping he'd stick around.
Yeah, and so he's had he's a really nice year and booted a 42 and a 43-yarder in the game against Lincoln Park.
NFL. Distance.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do think Bennett was asking him after the game. He's like, "Did you get any offers out of that?"
Wouldn't surprise me.
If you can boot it like that,
it's a lost art. Honestly,
it is. It definitely. What you usually get is the soccer team flunky
right,
coming out.
Exactly.
Nando's actually a volleyball player.
Wow.
All right. So we've got too many men on the field, so we got a free play. Although I think yes. I think in high school football, that is a play that stops the clock. So it was the Eagles had a player that they weren't getting off the field on their side. So as opposed to, as a Green Bay Packers fan, the art of Aaron Rodgers getting the other team with 12 men on the field and then having a free play to throw deep. I think that was going through Schetz's mind, but unfortunately, high school football rules.
Yeah,
that blows it dead.
Yeah, and that makes sense. These are younger guys.
All right, so late in the second quarter, scoreless, 0-0.
Let's see how long
Schetz
that
at
lasts.
quarterback, Will DeMille as a single receiver right, Dockett, Merrill, and Bradley to his left. He's got time. He steps up in the pocket.
Oh, he's
going to get some. Yeah, he's first down and more. Getting out of bounds over on the left-hand side. Stopping the clock. Really nice run by Schetz. So yeah, had the receivers all cleared out, and then saw a lot of green in front of him. Took off for a nice run. So that stops the clock. Schetz over, collects the play from Coach Eddie and head offensive assistant Bennett Newman. Really great to see these guys, how they progress throughout the course of the year. You know, again, from a first game where really a lot of center quarterback challenges just on the exchange, to now being able to execute a solid drive at the end of the half.
Yeah, this is really an impressive drive.
Schetz back to pass, has some time.
Get off.
Yeah,
hey, that's okay.
Yep, incompletion.
That was a good idea.
Well, I'm not quite sure I'll agree it was a good idea. Although it's the end of half. I mean, although that burned us against Westinghouse is something that Coach Eddie is still, most of the time when I talk to him, he still brings up. We call that pass at the end of the half. We got the ball back, I think, on a turnover, and they took a shot downfield, and Bennett couldn't quite step all the way into it, and then I think DeMille and Merrill may have been deep and basically knocked each other off, where it would have just been an interception that would have been tackled, and they would have been at the the 25-yard line with nothing. Well, then they got a huge return out of it.
Oh yeah, that was like the 95-yard return. Yeah, that was a really heavy.
All right, so Schetz in the pistol, rolling to his right, looking. He's got. Thought he had Merrill, but I think it ended up being broken up by the Eagles receiver. So I think Merrill and DeMille over on the right-hand side. So got a nice rollout over there, which buys them some time, gives them a good lanes to look at. So this brings up third down. Third down, 0-0, late in the second quarter. We're not sure if there's a scoreboard operating here because we're right next to it.
Like some mirrors, I think, would help us.
Oh yeah. Barry, your first day on the job and you're already concocting these.
Not the camera angles though. There's a scoreboard right there.
All right. So Solomon Bradley, Tristan Merrill to the right, Dockett, DeMille to the left, Schetz in the pistol. Snap delivered by Ben Barrett. Schetz stepping up. He's got DeMille.
Oh, beautiful.
DeMille.
Nice.
I'm not quite sure why we didn't get a flag on that hit there.
Because we're Whitney Young.
So I think the ball came out at the end. So DeMille got a nice gainer down to inside the 20. Was held up by somebody, and then I think on the second hit, and I thought it was an elbow that came through, and maybe the guy just had a good swipe at the ball and knocked it out of DeMille's hand. So good drive put together by the Dolphins here. Again, where I should be writing things down, I think, what do? We started at about the 25, and then we drove it to the 20, and that they're going to call the end of the first half. So
wow.
Action-packed first half of play.
Defensive battle. A lot of
yeah, I mean, good defense, but I think, at least Whitney Young put together a couple good drives there and showing a little bit of what Whitney Young does. Pass the ball, diverse offense. Schetz gives them a lot at the running back position as well. So now, Barry, this is our 15-minute fill that we have. So this is where we start telling stories.
I'm tempted to turn the camera on you.
No, I have a face for radio.
No, I think I'm going to do it.
It's a face for radio.
When I'm a viewer of these, I'm always like, they should put the camera on themselves at halftime.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, man.
We're doing it.
All right, well. Just don't now. Just make sure things don't break.
Yeah,
exactly. It's all well and good until the camera falls off the tripod.
There we go.
All right. Well, I guess I'm
simulcast first.
I'm on the camera, so kind of like the halftime show for Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Talk about what's going on, what's on tap. So let me talk a little bit about upcoming varsity game. So hopefully you've all been tuning into both the JV and varsity games. The varsity team put together a great year. 6-1 now, big win this past week over Lincoln Park. And this week we travel to Taft So Taft is one of the powers that be within Chicago Public Schools. And I've had a chance to watch a few of the game films for Taft, and I'm just really excited about this game because I think it's going to be the best football game that we've been in all year as the Whitney Young varsity team. In that, we've had some great wins. We had some, thinking back to the Lane Tech game, an awesome atmosphere. Thinking about like our homecoming game against Perspectives, which was a great atmosphere at Rockney with a sellout Whitney Young crowd. And in the rain against Westinghouse, all those things were really fun games, good wins. Had the loss at Phillips, and Phillips is big, strong. I know Tony said on the broadcast about how Phillips is the Alabama of Chicago Public Schools, the CPL league. I don't think they've lost a conference game since 2014. They've got a couple state titles to their credit. So in looking at some of the films, I watched Taft against Phillips. And quite frankly, they looked exactly like we looked against Phillips. I mean, I think they were down 14-0 before their second offensive snap even. And really the size and speed of Phillips is something beyond what the rest of us have. Now, if you look at Taft as a team, very balanced from an offensive perspective. They can throw the ball. They've got a pair of running backs, sort of a thunder and lightning combination, where they have a halfback that can get to the edge and has some nice speed, and then they've got an old school fullback, number 44. I think his name is Ryan Polbsky. From that neighborhood.
Yeah, the old school Chicagoan.
Yeah.
Where do you find the time to do all this scouting? That is impressive.
Well, like I said earlier, I mean, what's my choice? My day job? I mean, so this is a lot of fun. A lot of fun to look at these things, and a lot of fun to kind of think about Chicago football and high school football. And this is truly, again, in talking about what some of these guys have been through as well on this team. And sometimes I forget about who's a freshman and who's a sophomore, because these sophomores didn't have a season last year. They practiced. They started practicing in July, got shut down in August, got a few more practices in September, then got it shut down all the way until February. And then there were never any JV games. There were potential of some games, but I don't think we had the numbers. Other schools didn't quite have the numbers. Varsity ended up playing 3 games last year, and having a couple shut down because of protocol. So really, for these guys, everybody on the field, that again, going back to that first game against Hope, I would guess that for 90% of our guys out there that day, it was their first tackle football game.
Hope I imagine was playing probably throughout.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, I'm kind of on tangents here. Going back to the Taft game, when I look at them and look at some of their game film, they look like Whitney Young. They look like both offensively and defensively. So offensively, they've got a quarterback that can make some throws. And he also can get out of the pocket and get some first downs. And we know with Pat McHale, we've got one of the best at that. They've got a running game that they can get going north and south. Maybe they run a little bit more than what we necessarily run for Whitney Young. But then, they utilize that fullback both on running, and they throw a lot of screens. So screens out of the backfield, sort of middle screens to that fullback combination.
It's dangerous.
So I think, yeah, exactly. So that, again, it's back to being disciplined from a defensive set from that standpoint. Whitney Young, we'll see if Alec Dale is on the field on Friday. I mean, I think the expectation is that he will be back. And we'll have to see if that's a full go, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah,
so he's
a key piece.
Yeah, banged up wrist, and he's been along with Anthony Hood, the primary receiving options for McHale. Although I will say, and I'm going to start my mea culpa during the JV game. Will Carter came up with a huge touchdown catch last week. It was on a McHale scramble. The play sort of went awry. McHale scrambled all the way around to his right-hand side and eventually found Carter at the pylon for a touchdown, and we all thought it was Anthony Hood. And I think it was for a couple reasons.
Oh, man.
I mean, one of the reasons was because it was such a smart football play, and Anthony Hood's been playing football since probably the day that he learned to walk. So we all thought, and it was a big throng of guys over there, and even hearing from the coaches, Bennett was on the headset, and they thought it was Anthony to start with, but it was Will Carter. Will Carter making a touchdown catch in the corner.
Unsung.
Yep, exactly. So a lot of weapons out there. So we'll see you all on the live stream for TAF. We're back under action here. Bradley, the kick away to number 10 from the Eagles. He's picking his way to the right and brought down. Nice tackle there by number 81, Brandon Dockett, doing it on kickoff returns and kickoff coverage. Great job by Brandon.
Barry, going forward, you got to have that. You got to have the FaceTime during halftime. I think that went really well.
Well, let's see. Let me check.
Wear a tie next time.
Yeah, exactly. We went from like 27 viewers down to 20.
Oh,
so,
yikes.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Maybe they're on their way here to meet you.
Oh, jeez.
Don't watch these games and drive.
That's right.
I've
Barry
done
Gordon,
that.
Barry Newman. We're here all week.
Back to football.
Back to football. So, again, resetting defensively, D-line, Barry Gordon, Chase Green, Pat Billings, and it's not Quinn Beck over there. Oh, it's my guy, Reed Favaro.
Yes, it is.
Reed Favaro wearing 58. I got to write that down. Sorry about that, Reed. Duenas, Perez at linebackers, Mason McCoo at corner on the other side. Solomon Bradley deep. There's a handoff up the middle. Stacked up nicely over there. Looks like Gordon, Fran Lope on the tackle.
With the 1-2.
Just where it ended up, I couldn't quite see it because our berm of dirt isn't high enough, but I'm going to guess Mason McCoo also.
We could use a higher berm.
Yeah, well, a
higher grassy knoll.
Yeah, I have, actually Lorenzo Rivas over there as well playing that safety spot on that side. Barry, I did actually contemplate renting a truck from Home Depot and just driving it over here to give us a little bit more elevation.
Like a U-Haul?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Next time.
I mean, I thought
why not?
Who's going to stop it? I don't know.
The police.
Maybe, but don't they have other things to worry about?
Put the Whitney Young hat on, and I think we'll be able to skate by.
All right, there's a handoff. Strung out really well on that side again, and a gang tackle. I mean, I could name off the entire Whitney Young defense
roster
there. So got some good penetration. Fran Lope seemed to be in on that tackle as well. So
his name
gap discipline. Well, Fran Lope, I mean, how about not making this an exchange student thing? How about just
let's keep him.
Let's keep him.
I was curious of how long he was here.
I think the family he's staying with, I think they're here.
Right here?
So maybe we'll.
Let's ask him.
I mean, for the post-game show, for the 2-hour post-game show.
Oh, you better believe it. We got lights, right? I hope.
All right, number 7 under center for the Eagles takes the snap, handoff up the middle to number 8, and he's still going.
Oh, nice takedown.
Good tackle
Eventual.
at the end of that by Reed Favaro. But yeah, number 8, who I know from that first game, Condre Pitts. 6'1", 190 sophomore. So Condre was a guy who actually had a touchdown called back in the first game. And this is where, again, Clark is bigger than what we are. So it's all about, keep talking about the discipline of being in your gap and trying to get a piece of a guy, because you don't want to get a kid like that at 6'1", 190.
Derrick Henry type.
Exactly. Free.
Running right through
if he's getting through and getting to the second and third levels, that's going to be tough for him to bring down. So we've done a good job of maintaining that throughout today's game. He broke off that run there. That play blown dead early on.
Our guys do seem to play bigger than their frames, though, I will say. I'm always surprised. They have a lot of heart.
Yep, they definitely do. And again, that Lincoln Park game that we lost, there was a lot of hitting going on in that game. I mean, good, clean hits, of course. And where I was saying earlier, the way the JV played in the second half of that game and having the varsity team there, and I talk a lot about this program and how they play together, they practice together. You see these guys. It's not like JV is off on the side. There's a lot of friendships on the team.
Yeah.
To see the guys like Frank Skotanis and Sam Wyatt
firing them up.
Alec Dale on the sidelines, yelling and screaming,
it
supporting those guys, and they felt it was like that game. That was like somebody picking on their little brother.
Yes.
That varsity brought that juice to the Friday night game.
Yep.
Sacked in the backfield. I couldn't quite see what was going on there. I'm going to say
a couple pieces
Barry
of laundry
Gordon
out there. As you
yep,
like to
there's
say.
a flag down. We'll see what that comes up as. Hopefully that's a holding call. A lot of times it is. I actually didn't have a good read on what was going on there, so I think we had
makes two of us.
Good pursuit on the ball. And when you have the headset, you can always say that was your kid that made the play.
No,
So-
I'm taking your lead. I didn't even know who
no,
your
I
kid
think it was.
for most of the season.
My kid is safely on the sidelines right now.
Yeah. No, you're a consummate professional, so I'm just trying to follow your lead. But there he is, 34. He'll have a steak tonight.
Steak and maybe some chocolate chip cookies.
We'll see. We'll see. We need another fumble recovery.
All right, is that what it takes? It
We'll
takes
see.
2 fumble recoveries
Yes,
to get any
for Grandma
chocolate
to
chip
get
cookies in
for
the
Grandma to get
Gordon
the oven
house.
fired up.
That's tough.
Oh yeah, we expect the best.
All right, so we've got another timeout here. Again, we're just making our educated guesses on what's going on. We've got Schetz and Barrett warming up here on the sidelines. Ben Barrett done a nice job all day. I haven't talked enough about him, and again, I started to talking about how just the progression through the year and the way Ben has really worked that center position. And at the beginning of the year, I was talking to Coach Finger, and he said the toughest position in the entire program is JV quarterback. Just because you're dealing with a relatively limited playbook, you're dealing with an offensive line that maybe doesn't have a ton of size or a ton of experience. And I'm going to buy that. I mean, I think I agree with that. I also think that the second toughest job in the entire program is JV center, because you got to get the ball back there. We're usually in a shotgun or pistol formation.
And
And
high
then
pressure position.
yeah,
for
and
sure.
then you've got to make a block.
It's thankless.
So you got a lot of stuff that you got to worry about right off the bat.
Yeah, people don't really notice you until you do something wrong as a center.
There's Clark breaking off a long run. Solomon Bradley hanging on for dear life with Mason McCoo making the tackle in the end.
Not sure what happened
Jason
there.
Perez there. Yeah, I think they just got a seam through the right-hand side of the line. And Coach Eddie Boucher just said, hey, we got to tackle.
Don't forget to tackle.
So let's see if Whitney Young can hold up here. Still 0-0, third quarter. Clark has put together a couple good runs here, but the defense has been strong all day and has come up with some plays.
Yeah, exactly. They've always come up with big plays when they're really needed, so let's see what they can do here.
Whitney Young defensive set, usually 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers. Sometimes they'll walk up a safety into like a third linebacker position, which is kind of what we're doing today because we're seeing a lot of runs out of Clark. Clark lining up with the with 3 in the backfield. Barry Gordon would have had the quarterback stop short there, but had a flag to start with, illegal motion. Illegal motion on Clark. That'll back them up 5, so they'll have 1st and 15. Brian Miller just sending me a text saying everything looks good on the live stream. Thanks a lot, Brian. Thanks a lot for giving us the tailgate tent, so we've got all of the equipment safely under the tent. You know, I picked up the tent from Brady Miller. It was a torrential downpour at the time.
Yeah, I was concerned.
Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, what it guaranteed is that once we got the tent and got it all the way out here to Clark,
Set it up.
that we wouldn't have any rain for the rest
skies.
of the day, which is great. That was exactly the way we had it planned. All the stuff stayed dry. And end result was the same. Number 6 getting the handoff. Stopped up
Oh, wow.
And that is the entire
That is everybody.
Whitney Young defense in on the tackle. I'm going to say up the middle there, probably Chase Green and Jason Perez making that hit. So they probably got back about 5 on that. 2nd and 10 from inside the 15, about the 14-yard line. So probably the first biggest threat to score here for Clark. Clark takes a timeout. All right, so Clark takes a timeout. We're going to have some water sent out to our crew. Hydrate or dihydrate, as my daughter would say. So, Barry, you got any stories you can tell? How about some Barry Gordon stories? Tell us what it's been like, with a Whitney Young JV Dolphin football player in the house.
I love how tired he is when he comes home, and how disciplined it's made him. It's really, he had a great personality before, but this has just been such a great experience for him, and got him in a tip-top shape. I'm a little jealous of that. But yeah, and it was his decision. I really didn't push him to do this, and boy, am I just so glad that he did.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a great program, and I know I'm entirely unbiased. I mean, entirely biased. But Coach Finger runs a Whitney program.
He does. It's
from
a really professional
top
program,
to bottom.
And it's just all about unity. I mean, these guys are just so tight.
There's this expression in Whitney Young football called family, and it stands for forget about me, I love you.
That's awesome.
So Coach Finger is not afraid to talk about love. There's a pitch, and Pat Billings with the initial hit in the backfield, and then driven out of bounds. I think Mason McCoo cleaning up some business over on the side. So Pat shot through there. Got some good penetration. And again, you get that, and it sort of get things off schedule. I mean, I think Pat wanted that tackle back there, of course. But what he was able to do is at least string that play out and let the rest of the Dolphin defenders come up and fill. So I think this is.
Yeah, what down?
I think it's third down, 3rd and short. I think. I think it's 3rd and short. I think that that little black and white post over there, that's our other stick. I'm going to say that's about 3 yards away from a first down. So we got number 3 under center, 3 running backs in the backfield. Goes to number 8. He's picking his way for a touchdown.
That was a nice play.
So Clark has gone to the full house backfield. We got a quarterback with 3 running backs there. They picked the middle back on that one, and he was able to work his way through the line. And really, again, it's these guys are they're not even. I don't even think they're lining up a wide receiver right now. They're just kind of rolling. And if Barry get a shot of the offensive lineman for Clark. I mean, these are
to zoom in that much.
These are big dudes. You know, I can. I'll read you some, and I'm not. If I had the numbers to match up, but
there's some 280s.
Mario Perry is number 79, 6'3", 330. Dean Henderson, 6 foot 310. Jaheim Crawford, 6'3", 310. Micah Duncan, 6'1", 300.
What?
Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
Well,
I mean, maybe those are inflated a bit. I'm not sure. We really have the Washington Redskins, Washington football team line from the 70s. Number 3 on the 2-point conversion. I think that's going to be. He spun it right across the line. So we had some penetration there. Fran Lopez was hanging on that side, but he was able to work his way across. So 8-0 Clark lead, 3rd quarter.
Definitely not insurmountable.
No, not at all. And so the Dolphins put together a nice drive right before halftime. I think here it's just it's a little bit about taking what's there for you. So what's been there for them has been some Will Schetz runs, has been some nice crossing patterns that have cleared some things out and gotten people like Dockett and Merrill and DeMille open. And I think if we can put some of that together, we can put a drive that marches down the field and answers on that.
Will's dad doing his pacing.
Yeah, so I've got a thought here. The DeMille family, I've been thinking about this. So Will DeMille,
the Thrill
DeMille.
Don't leave that
so we've got Will DeMille the second here, who I believe was the Thrill when he was in college. So I think he's
the original
the
Thrill?
OT. Yeah, he's
OT.
the OT. He's the original Thrill.
OT
so,
would give great color.
So Will
commentary.
DeMille is the OT, and then Will the Thrill DeMille on the field.
Junior
Will DeMille
Thrill.
the third. Think about it. I got a logo that I'm designing for him in my head, and that is, how about Thrill with 3 L's at the end, because he's the third. He's Will DeMille the third.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Copyright that.
Yep. Oh, I did already.
Oh, nice.
You wonder what I do during the day. This is what I do during the day. The
Not enough
Thrill.
hours in the day for
I'm
me,
talking
but
about.
you're
Well,
just-
I got it all.
Yeah.
Not just that. I got Halloween costumes. I mean, think about that. Some kids these little kids are like, "What are you going as?" "Oh, I'm going as like Batman. I'm going as like, then I'm going as
I'm going to
Thrill.
Roman numeral 3.
I'm going as Will the Thrill DeMille. Let's see if we can get the ball to Will the Thrill. All right, good idea right there. Dolphins just getting on top of it, putting the ball back in the hands of the offense. Was that our man? That was our man Dalton. Was that our man Dalton Ferguson? I don't know if he was the guy getting on it, but he at least was out there. Dalton's been out for a few weeks with a foot injury, so great to see him back on the field.
Yeah,
I mean, we see him
name.
on the field during the varsity games. He puts in more miles than anybody other than maybe Pat McHale.
Yeah, he does. He's all over the field.
He's the man. And he actually made an incredible catch on one of those field goals from from Nando. Sorry, Fran Lope, we won't make you kick field goals yet.
Yeah.
All right, so Dolphin offense back on the field. Clark was on the field for a long time, so let's see if we can put something together here. Chet's under center, Duenas and Louis Ortiz in the backfield. We haven't seen a whole lot of runs today, but there's Louis Ortiz getting some push up the middle, picks up 3 or 4. So nice job running out of that I formation. Louis Ortiz really gave this team some spark as well in that Westinghouse game. Came in after halftime and just hammered the ball up the middle. Talking about him as a 140-pound hammer. And he got a nice run on first down there. Chet's grabbing the play, comes back to the huddle. It's one of the nice things. That's a nice thing. I mean, there's not a play clock, an official play clock. Allows the quarterback to go over and talk to the official. That's both in varsity and JV.
Oh, yeah, good point.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that.
They don't take advantage of it, though, I'll say. They the quarterback.
Oh, sure. They definitely move. Chet's waving Merrill in motion to the left, back to the right. Chet's on the keeper. He's going to try to get to the corner. Oh, he got tackle out of bounds. He got face mask out of bounds.
Help him out.
But didn't get the call. I think on that one, Will, when you watch this, just get out of bounds. for your parents' sake, just get out of bounds. There wasn't anything more, But anyway, it's because the player can get over there and talk to the coach. You get a little two-way communication of what's going on during the game. And I'll actually tell you, on the play that Newman got hurt against Westinghouse, he had actually talked to Coach Eddie, and he wanted to roll out to the left so they would end up on the left hash because he thought their right flood play was working well and was going to be the touchdown pass.
Wow.
So it's kind of fun that these kids are thinking that way, and
Yeah.
they've got the knowledge of that game in their basically first season.
There's
Chet's on the roll. Nice, great pass to Duenas.
Come on.
Duenas with a cut. Duenas
big play.
to the 30. Still moving. Going to get a hold.
Oh.
They're going to get a holding downfield, but great play
Wow.
by Dominic Duenas.
Let's do that again.
So that is a play, that halfback pass that has worked extremely well for this team throughout the year. Duenas, who has played both at the halfback and fullback position, collected that one and then put in some
nice work downfield, some nice cuts, showed the speed that he has. So Dominic Duenas, really like him on this team and what he can provide to them from multiple positions. So that's going to be a first down. Again, the holding was downfield, so
play.
it's a spot foul in high school football. The spot is always a bit of a mystery.
I'll take it.
Because, and actually I don't know what it was. Oh, you know what it was? It was an inadvertent, it was a 5-yard face mask penalty, I think.
Okay.
So here we thought it was a holding, but it was actually a face mask penalty. So we get all the yardage plus 5.
Wow.
We got a first down at the 26-yard line. Schetz under center. Louis Ortiz in the backfield. Schetz getting some pressure, steps up, gets away. Off.
Oh, that was dangerous.
Yeah, just bounced off the hands of Barry Gordon there in at tight end. So Schetz did a nice job. He got pressure off of his right-hand side, but he was able to duck under that and still get a nice pass away. Incomplete, brings up second down.
I don't like being a cameraman for that play.
Yeah. It's all right. It was a nice route. Everybody's giving us some. Coach B giving Barry some support on the sidelines. It came in there pretty hot. You'll work on that in the offseason.
Oh, yeah.
Jugs machine.
We'll be out there playing catch.
Yep.
Oh, I got to get the machine. Okay.
Well, I'm not saying you can't. No, I'm not saying you don't have a rifle yourself, Barry. Not saying you have to invest in anything there.
Maybe I can rent one.
Well, rented a generator from Home Depot today. I don't know if
Oh,
they have
you were
jugs
just at
machine.
Home Depot all day, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's, all right, so Schetz in the pistol. I think it's Louis Ortiz. Yeah, Louis Ortiz behind him. Schetz rolling. He's waving guys deep, but he should just run it himself. Maybe a little ball security there, Will, but gets out of bounds. Gets out of bounds close to the mystery first down stick that's over there somewhere. Will Schetz fired up, running over here. So nice job. It's going to be, I think we're going to have third and short from the 15. So I think they have to get to about the 13 for the first down. Dockett checking out, Duenas checking in at the fullback position. So maybe
Celsius
we'll
is dropping a bit. This is turning into some football weather.
Yeah, but we've other than a little bit of rain, man, we've had some great weather.
Yeah, really. There has been. The Lincoln Park on the lake was actually really fun for me, even though it was pretty cold.
Oh my God, it wasn't fun for me.
No,
I needed to be anchored down.
Yeah.
So Schetz under center, Duenas at fullback, Louis Ortiz at halfback, third and call it 1. Schetz with the keeper.
Oh,
he's
picking
driving
that up.
his legs,
He's picking
driving
that
his
up.
legs.
Needed 1, he got 2.
Barry, you're pretty confident in your mark there. I don't see the officials moving the chains yet. Yeah, they're moving the chains. Excellent. See, Barry, you're dialed in, man.
Oof.
You're dialed in. So that was a great call there by Coach Eddie. Take that first down.
I had the Zoom going, so.
All right.
The cheaters.
You got everybody to see it at home as well.
Yes, hopefully.
So what do we have? 8-0. Clark with the lead.
For now.
And are we still in the third quarter?
I believe we are in the third.
We haven't
They
switched
haven't
ends of the
flipped
field, but it feels like the third quarter has lasted
As long
as
as
the first half.
Yeah, I was thinking the same
Without
thing.
doubt. Well, we might be wrong.
I
Who
mean,
the
like
heck knows?
yeah.
All right, so Schetz, we're going under center again. Duenas at fullback, Ortiz at halfback. Schetz with the keeper.
Oh,
He's
what
on a roll.
play. Good
Got
run.
tackled hard, but a really nice run.
Good run.
Yeah, and Schetz, I mean, he's doing a nice job too. He's faking the ball with an empty hand, and then tucking it away and getting a nice head of steam on that.
Bear, I think I need that Home Depot truck. I need that U-Haul truck next time.
We need to give you a little more elevation. What about a scissors lift? Would you go up in a scissors
I would
lift,
do that.
Barry?
I've
All
done
right.
it. I'll do it again.
Okay. All right.
Not too high.
I didn't,
5 feet's all I need.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't look at the light poles here. I mean, that could be an option for us too.
Oh,
We
yeah.
shimmy up one
Next
of those
time.
things. All right, so second down, short yardage here. Schetz in the pistol. Louis Ortiz behind him, trips to his left, He's rolling left. He's got DeMille off DeMille's hands for an incompletion. That's a tough one. I mean, you got Schetz on the run, so he's rolling to his right. He's got DeMille on the run. And tough pass to complete, got close there. I know these guys want to punch this in and try to tie this score up. So 3rd and short. Haven't probably given enough shout out to the offensive line. Clearly they're doing a nice job up there.
They're used to not getting the love.
I try to get their names in, We got Zion,
they're lunch
Zaire,
pail guys.
Zaire Nichols, Pat Billings at the guards, Jason Perez and Chase Green at the tackle positions. Schetz repositions trips to his right. He gets it to Dockett. I think that's going to be enough for a first down. Yep, enough for a first down. So Brandon Dockett coming up with a nice catch in traffic. Nice catch in traffic to keep this drive alive. First, and we got a Dolphins taking a timeout here. So who knows? Maybe we're off on a quarter here. I feel like we've been going this direction the entire. Oh
yeah.
no. Well, I don't remember. Yeah, you have to.
I'm glad it's not just
send me an email or a text and
Right.
tell me what quarter it is.
Somebody
I'm just going to
text us.
keep talking here. But given that we're calling a timeout, I mean, it is an important play. So
It is.
I think they
It
want to
is.
dial this up
Yeah,
correctly.
This is a must score.
Again, we mentioned some of the guys out today for the Dolphins. Damian Mendez has just had a great year.
All
great
over the
year.
field.
Yep. And talking about that fullback pass, I mean, Damian's really collected a lot out there. Has some great blitz pickups, and then defensively has just done more and more and more throughout the year from that linebacker position. So I think he's a little dinged up with an ankle injury right now that he sustained a couple weeks ago and kind of fought through it.
He did.
But they shut him down for the year. But again, you talk about these kids that you're excited to see continue to grow, develop through this program, and Damian Mendez, without a doubt, is one of those guys.
Great family too, a big-time football family.
Yeah, and I told this earlier. I mean, he has a brother, Clayton Mendez, who was a all-city runner at Whitney Young and is at Stanford. Is on their cross-country team.
Wow.
I think he's in the if I get this right off in my memory, number 4 runner on a number 6 NCAA team. So big play here. I think the ball was on the ground. Came out of there early, but Pat Billings made the recovery in the middle. So I'm not quite sure what the plan was there. Another timeout coming here. I don't know if that was going to Duenas as the up back. Somehow our quarterback to running back exchange didn't go as planned, and the ball came out, but Pat Billings jumped on top of that. If I had to say here, I think we're still in a short yardage position because the one stick that we can actually see that has some orange on it is still hanging out there at about the 14-yard line. So I think you can get a first down at the 4. I have no idea where do you think the ball is right now? It's got to be close to that. Got to be close to a first down.
I'm using my zoom. Yeah, it has to be close. All right, 3 yards maybe.
So I think this is 4th down because we had a Schetz run to get the drive going, an incompletion to DeMille, if I'm remembering correctly, and then that fumbled exchange. I might be wrong on all of that, but so Ben Barrett at center. So now they took the stick down. So I think somewhere in there was a first down.
We're just eyeing.
I'm going to try to see a referee give me some signals here. Schetz on the roll. He's got some green in front of him, and he's in for a touchdown.
Wow, is that a great run? Wow, great vision on that run.
Yep, Will Schetz got out to the left-hand side.
He was patient.
All right, so 8-6. Whitney Young edging closer. Coach Eddie going to dial up a 2-point play here.
Let's get creative.
2-point play. Duenas checks in at fullback position. Schetz getting the play from Coach Eddie here over on the side. 8-6, the Schetz run brings the Dolphins within 2. The Eagles are taking a timeout.
Gives me time to update my IMDb page.
So really nice, really nice drive by the Dolphins there. Just marched it downfield. It started off with a run from Louis Ortiz. A few runs in there from Schetz. Nice pass pickup to Dockett for a first down. And then Schetz finishing things off with a
fantastic sneak.
Yeah, with a quarterback keeper. Hope you're all enjoying the broadcast today. Again, this is our last JV game of the year. Had a lot of fun this year.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun listening.
Well, it was something that, again, I give all the credit to Tony McHale for having this setup in place.
He came and set this up in about 7 minutes.
Yeah.
he has this down to a science.
Yeah, Tony is, and he is so so giving of his time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because if we had to try to do this on our own, it would never happen.
Nope.
So really appreciate him putting the time into it. And then it's just from here, it's just pure fun, and I appreciate the coach's time throughout the year. Coach Eddie has given me a lot of time, giving me some insights on the team and talking through things. So here we go. Let's call this a big time 2-point conversion. Whitney Young looking to tie this thing up. Schetz under center. He's rolling to his right.
Get back in there.
He's gonna have to throw it out there, and he got hit over on the right-hand side, pretty hard hit by number 6, so we're not going to convert that. So I think that he was looking in the corner of the end zone. I'm guessing maybe DeMille over there, and just couldn't quite get to him before he ran out of real estate over on the right-hand side. So we have no idea how much time is left, but we're guessing.
At this point, I want to know.
Yeah. Probably not a ton of time. I'm just trying to take some cues from the referees on what's going on, because I don't fully understand the rules of the clock and when it's stopped and when it's not.
No,
so
it doesn't seem to be any
Dolphins
rhyme or
down
reason to
8-6. What do you think, Barry? You got an
for,
onside kick that's.
I don't know that I would do that. It'd be nice to know how much time there was left, and I would have a better idea.
And that's where what I'm not sure of is if we have any time left. I mean, that's where I got Coach Eddie.
You got the coach on the field.
But he does have the kickoff team coming out with him as well. Clark was heading down to the other end.
Okay, fourth quarter.
So is that what we're saying?
That's what we're going to say. We're going to say fourth quarter.
Yep, start of the fourth quarter.
That was
so the
heart attack moment.
The third
Thanks
quarter.
a lot, Bear.
Third quarter lasted
a half an hour.
Lasted quite a bit of time. Again, we're just having fun out here, which is good. So Dolphins trailing 8-6 to Clark. Traffic on the Eisenhower, on the outbound Eisenhower is
really hasn't died down.
Is about 2 hours, regardless of where you're going.
Yeah.
I think Coach Eddie wants to get out there and mix it up a bit.
That's a camera.
I think Coach Eddie played at North Park University after graduating from Whitney Young. So Coach Eddie is a Whitney Young graduate. Julian Lopez.
I'm a Whitney Young graduate myself.
Yeah, that's right. Barry Gordon, Whitney Young graduate.
I didn't take camera class there, though.
What do you think about Whitney Young today versus when you were there?
Seems just as fun. I just had so much fun there. Made lifelong friends. It has the same vibe, which is amazing. Dr. Kenner was the principal then as well, and she runs a great ship. The athletics are as elite. I was there when Quentin Richardson was on the.
Q.
Yeah.
There's the onside kick. Recovered by Clark, number 45. Who I don't have in the program, but he made a nice job there. I think we'll have to work on onside kicks in the offseason as well. But yeah, it's good to have a Whitney Young alum on the camera. We're still a little confused about
'cause that's
how
a
everything is
strange
going here.
Way to start the fourth quarter.
We'll have to maybe
And
we'll
that's
have
our
to
job,
send.
isn't it?
Hey,
Thrill.
Hey, Original Thrill. Can you go find out what's going on right now? Like, how much time is
he
left?
knows,
or
I'm sure.
About a minute left in the game. Okay, so the OT tells us it is about a minute left in the game. I think we've used 1 or 2 timeouts. Tony McHale right now is cringing at my inability to write anything down during the game to have any idea what the important information is.
Do you even have a pen? You gotta have a pen.
I do, but I just can't. I mean,
Must be out of
I
ink.
usually get one thing written down. Like, I usually get the
That's my
first play
style.
written down,
Right.
and then it's
This
all
is going to be
out the
different this
window.
game, and yeah.
So I think Clark is probably going to be able to get in the victory formation here. Just snap it to their quarterback and take a knee. And they're going to get out of here with a win. But great to see the Dolphins with that final drive work it downfield.
Yeah, that was much more of a nail biter than we realized.
Yep. So Clark guys shaking hands with some of the guys in midfield. That's Anthony Brooks, a defensive end, tight end. I know that he played a great game when we faced him to start with. Great to see that that sportsmanship. I know that these guys have really enjoyed playing. We're playing Clark for the second time again this year. We beat them 6-0, first time.
Wow, it's the battles.
Good for them on their 8-6 win. Hard-fought battle. Really well done. We're going to have the teams shake hands here at the end of the game. You'll see our JV guys on the sideline. Again, started talking a little bit about the Taft game this Friday. I would highly recommend tuning in.
And Bear, where is that game?
That is at Taft. So if you happen to be listening to this and your son is on the Whitney Young football team, make sure that he gets you tickets to the game, because I think you can get 2 tickets a family. Now, I don't know how it works as far as getting tickets if you don't get them. Not to say that you can't get into that game, but I think there's going to be some really good attendance at that. But you can always check out the live stream as well. So that is the final. It's good to see the Clark Eagles happy about their victory. And I think, again, Whitney Young, we don't like to say a moral victory, but a solid effort in their final game of the year. And, again, we could go up and down this lineup and talk about the growth of this team throughout the year. And I'm sure that Coach Eddie is going to say that to these guys right now. That's a really good experience, I think, for everybody coming through the program. And it's all about a learning experience. It's like every week what you saw these guys put together, and not that it was all roses, right? We had some tough weeks that we took it on the chin, but I think overall this team, what they were able to put together, what they were able to do mentally and physically throughout the year was really impressive, and I'm excited.
And they never complained, which is what I really respected about them. They're not like typical athletes out there. They never complain. I know we were complaining about calls, but you never saw that coming out, any frustration out of them. Very level-headed team.
Yep, and I think just even, again, when you see these guys after practice and you see what this program is overall, again, starting from Coach Finger, we've talked a lot about how the varsity program has been rebuilt over the last 4 years. I mean, these guys are going to be big as far as the future of this program goes, because we've got a lot of seniors graduating. We only have 3 juniors on that team right now. We have 7 sophomores, 7 freshmen that are all contributing at the varsity level. So those guys are there next year, and then it mixes in all of these guys off of this team. I mean, some of these freshmen will be back on the JV team, and I think the experience they got this year is going to be great for them. The sophomores are going to mix in. I mentioned some of the guys today where I expect to see them in the starting varsity lineup next year.
30 pounds of muscle.
Absolutely. Well, and I think you look at you look at some of the varsity guys now and the growth that they've made over the last couple years, and these guys are all going to undergo that as well. So again, while we drop a game today, and Coach Eddie at the beginning of the year said to me, JV really isn't about the wins and losses. Of course they want to win, without a doubt they want to win, but it's about building solid football players, solid student athletes for the future of this program, and we're looking forward to that. So.
Yeah.
Barry Gordon, I want to thank you for jumping on the mic today, jumping on the camera. I mean, you should have seen this guy. He had no business, wanted no business of getting on the mic today, but he did an excellent job on the camera. So thanks again to everybody.
Great year, guys.
Yep, great year to the JV team. Join us again on Friday night for the Taft versus Whitney Young varsity game, and then we've got plenty of football ahead of us the rest of this year with city and state playoffs coming up. Thanks again for Barry Gordon. I'm Barry Newman. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks.
Thank you.